This is our complete beginner's guide to video editing. In this video editing tutorial, we're gonna share our step-by-step process that will teach you how to edit videos for YouTube or for other projects quickly and efficiently. So the process I'm gonna take you through is the Primal video method. This is the fastest and easiest way to edit your videos down with minimal wasted time or rework. So it's not about just jumping in, applying a ton of effects and filters and color grades and stuff to make your footage look good. It's about being strategic so that you know that you're doing things in the most efficient manner. Following this process is gonna save a ton of your time and your sanity. And this process is something that you can follow along with and use in any video editing software or app. For the examples in this process that I'm going to be sharing on screen with you, I will be using iMovie on Mac because it's free and it's awesome. But if you're on PC and you're looking for something similar, then you could check out Shotcut or OpenShot. And I'll have a full resource of links down in the description box, so make sure you check that out, whether you're trying to work out what the best editing software is for you on Mac, PC, iOS, or Android, or if you're looking for an editing tutorial for a specific app or program, we'll have a ton of those linked in the description box to help you. But remember, you can follow along for this tutorial in pretty much any app or program, as it's the fundamentals, the actual steps that I'm doing that you need to follow for success. So you want to go ahead now and open up your video editing application. And the first thing we're going to do is get our project configured and get everything set up correctly. So here in iMovie, I'm going to go to create a new project. Now in some applications, you might need to go to File, New or New Project, but I'm going to click Create New here, and I'm going to choose a new movie. Now you want to give your project or your edit a name. So I'm going to click up here under Projects, and I'm going to type in Justin Edit and go OK. Now iMovie and some video editing applications do auto save your projects as you go, so that you don't lose anything. Others will be a manual process, so you want to be mindful of that and just go up to File, Save, or Save As, just so you're saving out a version of your project so far. Once you've set up your project, the next step is to import all of your video footage. So we can just click here on Import or choose File, Import, and then we want to navigate through on our computer to find our video files. So I'm going to go here into Footage, and I'm going to find this file here, Footage. This is our main camera footage. I'm going to choose Import, and we can also import any other footage, audio files, or anything at this point, so that we've got everything good to go, all in our editing application. So we can go File, Import Media. We could say come up here to B-roll, select our B-roll clips, import those in, and likewise for our music tracks too. Now where we go for music for our videos is to Artlist and to Epidemic Sound, and I'll have links to both of those in the description below. But both of those make the whole music licensing thing really straightforward, so you won't have any copyright issues. So now that we have all our video assets and footage and everything in, we want to now grab our primary video footage. So we've got our main camera angle here. We want to drag that down to our timeline. So we can see we've got one 9-minute clip down the bottom here. Now we can zoom in and out using a slider here, or you could use the keyboard shortcuts plus and minus, or control or command plus and minus normally on the keyboard to zoom in and out. But the next step here is to go through and remove any bad takes or any mistakes from our footage. So we're just going to be left with the stuff that we actually want to use in our video. Now, most video editing applications, there's a few different ways that you can do this. If we zoom in on this further, we can see our audio waveform here, or the visual representation of the audio in our video. So this little graph down the bottom here, where it's flat or there's nothing there, it means that there's silence. Whenever I talk or there's sound, we can see that it has these spikes. So if I play this section here now, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, so we're not going to use this piece in our video. So we'll want to remove this 1, 2, 1, 2 piece, and we'll probably start our video back over here somewhere. So one way that we can do this is to come over and grab the start of our clip here. We can see that our mouse cursor changes. We can click and drag that across and let it go where we want our video to start. Now, if we play it from here, with a ton of video editors out there, and we can see that that is the start of the video. So that's how we can trim off the start of the clip. Likewise, if we go to the very end of the project here and the video finishes here, we're gonna have all this extra stuff that we can trim off. So we can again grab the end of our clip, drag it back to where we want our video to finish, and our video is now going to finish at that point. Now let's say that this ending was all good up until about here. So we wanna keep this piece here. I can add a split or a cut in our timeline. So you normally wanna find the cut tool or the blade tool. In this case here, for iMovie, I'm pressing Command B to blade the tool at that point. But usually the icon that you'll be clicking on is a pair of scissors, and then you can select where you want to split your timeline. So you can see here we've now got 2 clips in here. So let's say that we want to remove everything here on this clip back to here. We can add another cut in our timeline. So we can blade or cut our clip at that point. We can select this clip in the middle now, because we now have 3 clips. We can press delete, and that clip is gone. We've now removed that section of our clip. And if we keep going back here now, looks like I start talking here. Let's play this section. And just one last thing to be aware of, is that each one of these... Okay, so we want to remove that first piece where I say it twice. So we want to start it from the second one, which was here. We can add a cut on our timeline here, and we will want to remove this piece before it. So again, we could add another cut. We could select the clip and delete it, or again, we can just grab this edge and slide it back, and we're able to shorten or trim our clip back that way. So those are the tools that you'll be using to remove any bad takes or mistakes in your video. So you want to go ahead in this step and remove anything that you don't want to have in your finished video project. Now you might be wondering why I'm going from the end of our video back to the start, or why I'm editing backwards. That's because when I'm filming our videos, I'm actually only moving on to the next point, the next sentence, the next paragraph once I'm happy with the last take. So I know that the last take is the one that I actually want to use when I'm editing. This is going to again speed up your editing process by being able to edit backwards and hitting that best take, or the one that you want to use, much faster without needing to sift through every take from start to finish and finding all of your mistakes that way. So again, go through and trim all of this down. Now all these cuts and these separate clips that you've got now, you can actually rearrange them. So if you want to change the order of something, you can pick these clips up or this chunk of footage up, and you can reposition it and move them around again to build out the story that you want. So once you've gone through and you've got your base edit done, the content is now the way that you would like it. The next step is to bring in any B-roll or overlay footage. So I'm going to come up the top here and I'm going to grab some of our extra shots here for the switch pod. I'm going to grab this clip, I'm going to drag it down onto our timeline, and I'm going to drop it down just above our primary video footage. So what happens in this case is our video is playing along, I'm talking, and then at this point where this clip starts, we're going to see this footage here on screen up the top here. And my voiceover and the video clip underneath will continue to play. So you will hear that underneath, but what you'll see on screen is whatever is positioned above it. Now this top B-roll clip here, just the same as other clips, we can pick it up, we can move it around, we can trim it down, adjust the start, adjust the end. We could add a cut to it here. We could split it in 2, and we could separate that and place some of it at the start, some of it a little later on. Again, all to build out your video masterpiece. So we've trimmed that down a little bit now. We can come up and grab our other clip or any other footage that we want to use in here. Let's bring in all of our B-roll or overlay footage at this point. So let's go through here. So we did a first practice run, so we don't want to use that. Let's go this second one here, where Caleb flicks out the switch pod. So we want to start it from here. So we'll add a cut at this point. Again, with the scissors or the blade, or using the shortcut keys to add a cut in your editing software. We're going to select the start of this clip, which we don't need. I'm going to press delete on the keyboard to remove that. So the piece we're left with is him flicking open the switch pod, putting it down, and there is a quick pan around of it before he picks it up, packs it up, and let's stop the clip about here. So we can just grab this end, bring it back to that point, and that clip will now finish there. Now, if we played this back, or even just by looking at the timeline here, we can see that there is audio, there is sound on these top B-roll clips as well. Now, we will get to sound adjustment a little bit later, but know that you can adjust or mute the volume on these clips if they are too loud or distracting while you're editing before we actually get to the point where we will be adjusting all of our volume levels. So what I'd normally do in this case is I would just come across to this clip and I would lower the volume down just so that it wasn't too annoying or too distracting while I was editing. Now, video editing and storytelling is an iterative process. So now that we've got our B-roll clips in, you will be going back and you will be playing through this edit, make any further adjustments, further tweaks to these clips to tighten it up, move things around as you need to, all to build out the story that you're after. So it's like we're running through in passes and we're further refining and tweaking things each time we do it. So now that you have your B-roll and your overlay footage in, the next thing that we're gonna do is to add any text or titles to our video. So we're gonna come back across to the first clip here, and I'm gonna add a title card to the start that says Justin Brown Primal video that will show up at the start of this video. So you wanna click on that place where you want the title to appear. You'll then wanna go up to the title tool or the text editor in your application, which in iMovie is up here under titles. And there should be some presets that you can use and configure up. So we can see straight away here in iMovie, there's lots of different types of titles. There's some animated ones, some static titles, lots of different templates and things that you can use. So I'm just gonna pick something basic here. Let's go lower third, and I'm going to click on that and drag that down onto our timeline where we want it added. We can see straight away that's popped up at the top here with an editable text box. So we can come up here, we can start typing in Justin Brown, and description, we can say Primal video. Now if we select this text, we can come up and change our font so it matches our brand. Now our specific Primal video font isn't in here, but let's just go Helvetica. We can turn off this outline by clicking the O. Maybe we'll do the same for the Primal video text too. Turn off the outline, and let's make it the same font. So if I mute this now so we don't hear me talking, if we hit play, then we can see that the video starts as I start talking, the text appears and then it disappears at the end here. Now we can again control how long that text stays on screen. If we want it on longer, we can drag that out. If we want it on shorter, we can shorten that up. And again, we can pick it up and move it around if it needs further adjusting. But you can really dive in and customize up these titles to match the look and feel that you're after. Now, if you're looking for some more advanced animated text and graphics to use in your video, Placeit is an amazing service to help you create and customize them all on their website that you can then download and drag and drop and use in all of your videos. So it's another amazing resource to help you create more professional looking videos really, really easily. So in this step, you want to go through and add in any text, any titles to your entire video. So if there's any product names or any bullet lists that you want to bring up, this is where you do it in this step. Next up, you want to add in any effects or transitions into your edit. So if we come up the top here to transitions, again, there's a bunch of presets and things that we can drag and drop and use in our video. And this is really common across most video editing tools. We got a simple cross dissolve, there's a cross blur, a fade to black, fade to white. And to use these, all we need to do is to click and drag them down onto our timeline. So if we drag one down here and we play this section here, I'm going to be talking and then it's going to flash to white, or fade to white is the effect that we've got, and then back into our next clip. Now we can also edit the transition length or how long that's going to happen over. So we can double click on this, we can make that longer or shorter. Or if we don't want the transition at all, we can select on it and press the delete key and we're able to remove it. Now I want to stress here, don't go too overboard with some of these effects and transitions and things. Some of these can make your video look very amateurish. So use them sparingly or where they're going to add value to the video you're creating. Don't just add them in on every single cut. Now in the case of this video here, I wouldn't normally have a transition between two clips which are the exact same camera angle. It's gonna look a little strange. Instead, what I would do to break the shot up and to make it look a little bit different is I would zoom in on one of the shots to make it look a little bit bigger, to make it almost look like it was shot using a different camera or it's a more zoomed in shot. So to do that, you wanna select your clip and go up to the transform area for that clip. And again, this is gonna be a little bit different with the different applications you're using, but you wanna resize or zoom in or crop in on that clip. So I'm gonna come up the top here in iMovie, I'm going to choose cropping, and in here I can choose crop to fill, and I can just zoom in on this shot or crop in. So what do I want this shot to look like? I can make this box a little bit smaller, which is actually zooming in on our shot. And then when I deselect this, it's now zoomed in. So if we play this now, here is our shot before, and then when it gets to that cut, it's actually zoomed in. So it's a little less jarring than having nothing move in the entire shot, but your head and your body. Now, in order to really sell this effect in a video like this, where you've just got someone talking on screen, if you're able to keep their eyes in a very similar position, it's gonna feel so much more fluid and less jarring. So let's come up here to crop again. Let's move it down a little bit and see if we can line it up a little bit better. Okay, so it's not 100%, but it is definitely better. If I play this now, it's a lot more subtle. So in this step is where you want to go through and add in any transitions or effects onto any of the clips in your timeline. Next up, we're going to add in any music or sound effects into our video. So here in iMovie, I'm going to come up the top to My Media, and we're going to grab those audio tracks that we imported at the start. And again, if you're looking for music sites, I highly recommend Artlist and Epidemic Sound. But I'm gonna click this track here, this music track, we're gonna drag it down onto our timeline and we're gonna put it down below our video. Now we can see that our music track down the bottom here is treated just the same as any other clip. It's just green instead of blue. We have the ability to pick it up, to move it around. We can trim off the start or the end with the same tools that we've had access to for our regular clips. Now you can see here that our video finishes at this point, but the music track keeps going. So I'm going to zoom out using the slider up here so we can see the whole thing. I'm going to grab that end of the music track and I'm going to drag that back so that it finishes when our video does. Now it's a good idea at this point to lower the volume level of your music tracks or sound effects because they're normally going to be too loud when you first bring them in. So here in iMovie, all I need to do is grab this little line here and pull it down a bit. We want to still be able to hear it, but we don't want it too loud and overpowering while we're still editing. So now that you've dropped your music track in, you've trimmed it down as you need to make it fit and positioned it where you want it. You'll again probably find that you want to play back through your entire video and you might find that you're adjusting some of your clips, lengthening some out, shortening some down, maybe even moving chunks of footage around to have it match the beat or to have it fit well with the music track that you've added. So you want to make sure that you're doing that in this step too. Once you're pretty happy with your music and sound effects and everything in there, the next step we're going to adjust our volume levels and really dial everything in. Now to do this, you want to make sure that you're adjusting the volume levels correctly with any spoken pieces first and then adjust any music and everything second. So I'm going to lower the volume on our music track here down to nothing. I'm going to mute it so that all I'm hearing when I'm playing this back is just me talking or just the spoken piece, so I can make sure that that volume is set right correctly. Now for this part, if you do have a set of headphones, I would strongly recommend that you're putting them on so you're really able to hear what is happening. But you want to be playing through your video and monitoring the audio, listening to what it sounds like, making sure it doesn't sound too loud, too distorted, or too quiet. But also depending on the editing application you're using, you'll also want to be looking at the audio bars to make sure that your video is staying in the green, the yellow, but definitely not maxing out in the red area. Now, iMovie doesn't have audio bars, but if we zoom in on some of our clips here, what it does tell us as an indicator that our music or our audio is too loud is if I make this audio louder than 100%. We can see that we've got some parts that are turning yellow and then some parts that are going red right across the top there. That's our indicator that our audio there for those sections is too loud. So we want to lower our volume down if you're seeing that until there is nothing in the red, because anything that is hitting the red, it's too loud, it's distorting, it's going to sound bad. So you want to go through and make adjustments to your audio levels here as you need to get them set correctly. Again, yellow is okay, but definitely not into the red. And this is also something that you can adjust on, say, your first clip here. And if they were all filmed on the same camera, same time, same microphone as with this clip here of mine, I can just make the adjustments to the first clip and I can then apply those or copy and paste them to the remaining clips. So if I select this clip now that I've made the adjustment and I choose edit, copy, select all the remaining clips. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to draw a box around all the remaining clips. I'm going to choose edit, paste adjustments. I just want to paste the volume adjustments. Then that same setting has now been applied to all of those clips. So now that we've got the volume right for the spoken piece, now we want to adjust the volume for our music too. So I'm going to grab that volume level bar down the bottom and I'm going to drag this up to where it sounds good, again with us, with headphones on ideally. Now this is going to come down to personal preference and what it is you're looking to achieve in your video as to how loud or how quiet it's going to be. But for us, a general rule where we start is around 20 to 30%, and then we can go up or down from there depending on the music track and the video we're making. Now we can also fade in any of our audio or any of our music here as well. We can see that when we mouse over this clip down the bottom, if we come over to this far left-hand side, there's a little circle there. If we click and we drag that in, then we can actually choose how long we'd like this audio to fade in for. So we can see if I do it right here, that's about 5 seconds of a fade. So if I zoom in to see what that looks like, now audio here is going to fade in at that point. And exactly the same at the end. If we want our audio to fade out at the end, we can grab that little circle, move it in a little bit for the duration of how long we want our fade to go for, and that has been applied. Once that's done, the next step is adjusting the colors or doing any color grading, color correcting for your entire video. Again, I like to start up front with the first clip because this is something that we can apply to all of our remaining clips too. So with that clip selected, you want to open up your color adjustment tools, which in iMovie, you do have some auto adjustments here, or you can dive into the color correction panel, which I think gives you better results. Now, the first thing you want to adjust in here is the white balance, which is this slider here on the far right, your color temperature. So you can see if we slide this thing one way, it's going to add more blue or make our shot cooler. If we go the other way, it's going to add more yellow or orange and make it warmer. So you want to make sure that this is set correctly first, and again, that you like the look that you are creating here. So maybe something around there. From there, we'll want to adjust the overall brightness of our shot, which is on this far left one here. We can start off by grabbing this center marker, this gray circle, and we can click on that, hold it down and move it to the left and to the right. You can see that we're able to brighten and darken our shot just by doing this. So let's put this one maybe around here, so we've brightened it up just a little bit. Now we can dial this in further. If we just want to adjust the dark areas of our shot, we can come right down to the end here to the far left circle, and we can move that up and down. So maybe we'll make the dark areas a little darker at this point. Likewise, with the bright areas, we can adjust those too, with the one on the far right. Again, this is a creative thing, all to help you get the look that you're after. This last one in the middle, this is to add some saturation, or to add more color, or to take it away. So with this slider, if I move it one way, it's gonna make our shot black and white. We go the other way, it's going to amplify all the colors and look absolutely terrible. So this was one that you want to add just a small amount of adjustment here, as and if it's needed. So maybe something like that. So here's the before and here is the after. So it is a very subtle difference, but again, you've got the tools here to tweak and adjust. We can then apply that setting to all of our remaining clips by again choosing edit, copy, selecting our remaining clips and choosing edit, paste adjustments. In this case, we want to paste the color correction, and that has now been applied to our remaining clips. So you want to go through in this step, make any adjustments to the colors in your primary footage, but also in your B-roll overlay or any graphics or animations that you've got in there as well. So now that we have all the colors and everything looking the way that we want, it's a good idea to play through your video again, make sure that everything is the way that you want it, and then it's time to save your video out. So if you're on iMovie, you'll want to come up and choose File, Share, File to start that export, or you can click the little share button up in the top right hand corner. Or in other programs, you could be looking for File, Export, or Publish. But this is where we can specify the format, the resolution, the quality of our video that we're going to save out. Now, this is one of those things that most video editing applications, the default settings here are going to be based on what your actual main footage was. So you'll probably find that the default settings here are probably going to be all you need, but you can customize this up if you need something specific. So if we want to change the resolution, the default here is 1080. If we needed a 720 or a 540p, a lower quality video, we can specify that here. We can also change the quality from here as well. Again, I'd recommend that you keep it here as the default, but you can either choose best, which is going to create a higher quality, but also a much larger video file, much bigger file size, or we can choose custom, and we can actually specify the quality of the video that we want to output. And in this case here, we can see that as we increase the quality or the megabits per second, it's actually changing the file size here as well and updates in real time. So I'm just going to go back to high, and then we're going to hit next. We're going to choose where we want this to save out. So I'm just going to pick on my desktop here. We can give it a file name and hit save, and our video is going to save out onto our computer. Now we can check the progress of our export up here in the top corner. You can see this is relatively quick and it is done. Now, lots of editing tools do have the ability to directly share or publish to places like YouTube, Facebook, Vimeo, or other platforms too. I strongly recommend that you're just saving the file out to your computer first instead of directly uploading from your application. That's going to give you the opportunity to review it and play it back and make sure everything is all good on your computer end before you go ahead and upload it. So that's the final step in our process here, is to review, make sure that everything is as you want it. If there are any changes that need to be made, you can jump back in, make any tweaks or adjustments, go ahead and resave that out, and then you can upload it and share it out. Now, if possible, before you share it out, I'd strongly recommend that you review your video also on a mobile device. A lot of people these days are consuming content on your smartphones, so you want to make sure that you're happy with how it looks and sounds and plays back on those devices too. And once you're happy with that, it's time to release your video masterpiece on the world. So now that you've been through our complete video editing process, you can download a copy of the process, the Primal video method, using the link on screen that you can download and use for each one of your videos that you edit from here on out. And again, this will work in any app or program that you're using. Also, don't forget to check out all the resources that are linked down below, and I'll see you in the next video.